and get it.
Jesse Hammonds is more comfortable on a baseball diamond than just about anywhere else on earth.
I'm at the field pretty much all the time, every night, the weekend nights.
A high school senior in Wister, Oklahoma, Jesse's dream of playing college ball was nearly crushed a few years ago by intense pain in his right hip.
And you could just tell watching him run before his running with pain, and he was almost dragging that leg when he was trying to run, had no range of motion through his hip hardly at all.
It was real frustrating because I was a freshman hitting lead off with 3 or 4 seniors behind me, and it was a good place to be. But when I got hurt,
Turns out that injury is common among high-performing young athletes. The trouble is, it's most often misdiagnosed. For 2 years, Jesse's family struggled to find a doctor who knew what was wrong.
It's heartbreaking as a parent. It's heartbreaking to watch your kid be disappointed.
Hey there. So your hip's hurting, huh?
Dr. Brandon Johnson is a fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeon who specializes in minimally invasive hip surgery. He is an expert in this type of injury.
I've seen dozens of Jesse's because these hip issues can go undiagnosed for long periods of time, very similar to his hip. And even if they do go diagnosed, in this region there's very few minimally invasive fellowship-trained hip specialists who not only can make the proper diagnosis, but then can address all the issues associated with that diagnosis as well, like with Jesse.
Within 2 weeks of properly diagnosing Jesse's injury, Dr. Johnson fixed his hip.
He had what's called cam impingement of his hip, had excess bone on his femur, he had tearing of his labrum.
The 3-hour procedure addressed every issue in the hip socket.
I can give him a hip that he can live with not just for baseball now, but for life in the future whenever he's a father someday trying to play ball with his kids.
Today, Jesse's preparing for the state tournament, pain-free, for the first time in years.
With all the struggles throughout high school with the hip injury, it's really special that he gets to play. I have so much gratitude to his coaches and Dr. Johnson. It's just hard for me to verbalize without becoming emotional.
It's emotional for me because I realize that all the time and effort, all the training, all the reading that I've put into this trade, to see that it was able to impact a young man like Jesse, it just means the world to me.
You know, I feel that Dr. Brandon Johnson is the reason that my son is getting to fulfill his dream.